Hello, welcome back. Last time we finished up available side quests and investigated the wedge in the ocean. Uh, Beat the boss in there, and now we're trying to find a bride for Lineage. Specifically, we're looking for the ship that Alphen was in until he woke up. Sounds like everything went well. What say we set sail and make our way back to port in Mahagsar, eh?
Our first port of call is Ulzebek. Back where you first started out.
Yeah, along with my dad.
You okay? You don't look so good.
I think I'm just a little seasick, that's all.
Liar.
Huh?
You heard me. You've never been good at hiding your emotions, Shion.
Excuse me? Just what do you... No. You're right. I'm sorry.
Is it about Alphen?
No. Not just him.
Something you can't talk about?
Rinwell, I'm not like the rest of you.
Of course you are! No, I'm serious. Back when we first met, I think maybe then I did think we were different. But now I know that isn't true. You and I are the same, Shion. We're alike in more ways than you know. If any of us is different, it's me. I'm a Danon who can use magic. I may be the last. My family and I have been living in hiding as long as I can remember.
Everyone has their own pain that can be hard for other people to understand. I saw the two of you talking and thought you could use a third wheel. So, here I am. Sorry.
If anyone's the odd one out here, it's me. Believe me, you don't want to listen to my problems.
Want me to go?
I didn't say that.
I get that you must have a lot circling around that head of yours. And that's okay. Whatever's worrying you right now, you're allowed to worry about it. And you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I know I'm not a Renin like you, or a mage like Rinwell. I'm not a sovereign, maiden, or lord. I'm just a Danon who used to be a slave. But regardless of all that, I'm here for you, Shion.
That goes for me too. We all want to be there for you. Me and Hoodle and even the boys. I promise. I mean, that is what friends are supposed to do, right?
I said this to Alphen, and now I'll say it to you. You're not alone in this.
Thank you. Rinwell. Kisara.
And right on cue, I think I should make my way back and lie down for a bit. My battle with this ship continues.
Yeah, I better head back too. We wouldn't want the guys thinking they're in charge. Can you imagine Law at the helm? Who knows what kind of trouble we'd get into?
Still, if that's true, then it's all the more reason I have to do this.
Aw, are you tired, Hoodle?
You sure he's not just trying to hide from us?
Didn't someone make a joke about eating him last time, or not eating him? I don't know. In the meantime, we've got another skit.
Alright, something is definitely up with Shion.
Yeah, something big by the looks of it. I've never seen her so serious.
So, do you think we should say something to Alphen then?
I was wondering the same thing myself, but then it occurred to me. Whatever this thing on her mind is, it's probably the last thing in the world she wants people to know about. If she's trying this hard to keep it secret, then it's not really our place to go telling people before she's ready.
Yeah.
I can't tell them. There's just no way I could, right? What am I supposed to do?
Okay, seriously, what is... I don't know. Something about the tail with the wings just isn't working right. We'll go back to the halo. Can I fast travel? I'm gonna go with yes. They said that there was one at every...
Calaglia.
One of the red
Feels
ones
like
at
it's been
every,
ages.
And wasn't Zephyr with us too?
Dad.
Hey, chin up! This is your hometown.
So much talking in this game. Lost my train of thought. Man, talking derailed my thought. Now I can't think of it.
Oh, just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head too.
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Danon disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegis.
Lenegis? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Oh, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. There's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
Well, I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
Nath, are you ready yet, or what? Oh, I didn't notice you there, Blazing Sword. And I see. You're Law, aren't you? Zephyr's kid? Dang, when did you get so tall? Can't believe that a little pipsqueak like you is running around with the Blazing Sword himself. I'm sure your old man would be proud.
All right.
Go on ahead without me. I'll catch up later. You got it, boss. See you around, Law. Don't work too hard now. Do you know that guy?
I guess...
Can't say I do. Even if I've met the guy before. Last time I would have seen him would have been when I was real little. Could have at least said hello back to him. I'm the reason my dad's gone, remember? You know how much they looked up to him here. Aw. Sorry for getting us sidetracked. Let's just head out. Hey, is Law doing okay? Not really. Zephyr's death is still weighing on him pretty hard. Can't say I blame him, even if it's not his fault. That's a big thing to have carry at his age.
Right.
Yeah, but he's trying his best to come to terms with it. I'll have faith he'll pull through. Good. He's going to need your support. He's still just a kid, and Zephyr's only one at that.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
And we have another skit. As per usual, where there's one, there's more.
Everyone around here looks so much happier than they used to.
I'll say. Feels like an entirely different place. I suppose it's had time to adjust to its newfound freedom.
Zephyr would have been so happy to see this.
Yeah, he really would have. Especially if he knew Law was... Law? Something bothering you, Law?
Nah, I'll be fine. It's just, you know.
It still weighs on you, doesn't it? Running away back then.
I abandoned my home. Then when I finally come back, it's been liberated. What's important is that it's free. I get that, I do. I just... I should have been here.
And one more.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cislodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Dan and owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby.
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors? And his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels! Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile!
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
I feel like they could have done with some of that information earlier. Also, now if we don't see a rainbow Hoodle at the end of this game, I'm going to be massively disappointed. Not computer ravine. So I know we're... Wait, do I? I guess not? I was thinking we were going to be going through here, but I guess we aren't. Let's see. So we'll have to go through Mosgul. I suppose that would make sense if... Yeah, ravine. Last trouble point is here.
We've reached our destination.
We should rest and eat.
Sleeping on the ground beneath the heavens like this? Why, it's hard to complain.
Yes, good before resting. Oh, right. Kisara.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
I guess we'll talk
Mind
about
if I join you, Law? Hey, Law. About what you said before.
When?
You were telling me how there were things you wished you could have asked your dad. If you want, you can always come to me with your questions.
What brought this on all of a sudden? Don't I already lean on you enough as it is?
Still, there's plenty you would want to ask him if he was still alive, right?
I mean, yeah, but I think you'll have a hard time answering any of them, if I'm being honest.
How come?
I mean, the stuff I want to ask him about is, like, how he met my mom and how he won her over. Stuff like that. Anyway, not really something you can help with, right?
You're right. Sorry, Law. I can't even begin to imagine how to help with that.
You're telling me. I just wish there was someone experienced I could ask about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, he was definitely that.
Let's make sure to kick ass tomorrow, too.
As if there was any question about who is the dad of this team.
I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
Okay, now let's see. Get there, we gotta go this way. Yeah, you're not a threat.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Just so I know. 2, 3, 30-ish.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
Someone treasures that memory. Or I suppose anyone would when that first time your touch hasn't
So
caused
this path is
serious pain
supposed
to
to
someone.
take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law.
Somehow, if it fell on Law's head, I'd imagine the rock would break. rather than law. I'm thinking Alphen's not going to be a great fit as a party member for this area.
So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship, and fast.
Okay, let's take a look at the map. Okay, so we'll go right first to clear out the side area. And having said something about it, I will check to make sure Alphen is indeed out of the party. Check arts, water. Go ahead and turn that off. Dark wind, light, water, fire, water, water, fire, fire, light, light. She has quite a bit of light arts for being a Renin, even if they all are for bomb arts. Fire, water, light, water, fire, water. Earth, light, wind, wind. Does Shion just have more arts than anyone else, or do I just have that few arts unlocked on most everyone else? I don't think I have any fire. Set here. Nope, in fact I have 3 of the waters. Oh, I hadn't finished going through all. Earth, earth, dark, earth, dark, dark wind, earth, earth, dark, dark. Light, winds. Oh, I'm not. I just don't want to bother with it. Wind, water, light, wind, water, water, light, water, lights, light, light, wind, wind, fire, wind, light, wind. So she might actually be worth having on in the team too. We'll swap him out. Yep. Oh. Oh, right. I did that while we were dealing with...
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your run! And done!
Let's keep going.
Freeze! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
If only she was charged.
One more. On guard. Hurricane strike. Beast assault.
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Let's... Oh, I should check that the next time I get the chance. Ascendant Pebble.
That's far enough!
Freezing storm! Not in your dreams! Ice tornado!
Bang.
Render!
Look sharp! The bigger they are, the harder they fall!
I can do this all day!
On guard! Hit it word!
It's almost too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest.
Flaming meteor!
Now I'm real mad.
Lunar Plenty left! Now I'm in the groove! On guard!
Gale force!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Look sharp!
Come on, one more hit.
Now, but things could shift at a moment's notice.
Oh, he's technically armed. Alright, Law, you're up.
Going in!
Yep.
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Too slow! By a long shot! Look sharp!
Don't charge, don't Law.
Lunar arc!
Do it!
Guess it doesn't
Got
matter.
your name on it!
Action to action!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Gothic Dress.
This might be some decent equipment.
Should...
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
I believe... Yes. Is there anyone else's equipment I've neglected to... Wow. Actually, I don't think I can sell any of that. That I definitely can't sell. This way. Oh.
Huh.
I almost forgot we still hadn't gotten Doalim's field skill. Well, there's no way we're climbing that. So it seems. Allow me to step in. Wait, you're not trying to think of to vault over with your rod, are you? Why, I hadn't thought about that. In any case, stand back. I'll handle this. Doalim's astral arts can be used to bridge gaps and rocky paths and vines that end abruptly. To do so, press up spend CP to build a new path forward.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer, thank you very much.
I mean, regardless, it's probably something good to have in case of emergencies.
No armor can stop me! Remind me to stay on your pistol.
What is this targeting?
Thanks, Kisara.
Is this one? This is the broken one.
Take this! Lunar arc! On guard! Now I'm in the groove! All yours, Kisara! Surprise! Going in! Now you
Which
see what I
leaves
can
these
do.
two as the two that hack.
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Nice try! Not by a long roll now!
Do it! Bring it on! Frozen hammer!
Good to know my training is paying off.
Okay. So... Oh, we have a fast travel point here now. Okay, in that case, I want to run off to... We'll go to the Oozle back again. Because I think we should have the materials for
finally made it.
crafting after visiting the wedge. Wow, we have... Okay, cool. To make a lot, we will start... We'll start with the highest of each for each character and then go back and craft the rest. That we don't run out of gold for the important ones. High roller. Spend 400,000 gold. In this party, if something's for sale, it doesn't stay that way for long. We'll craft that. This would be hilarious to actually equip on him. It gives him an additional 500 piercing with his current setup. However, that doesn't do much if he's not doing much actual damage. Supreme Flashbang Shield. Oh, this is actually good for to have at the moment. And there runs out our gold. Unload Shadow. Yes, sell all that stuff. You don't sell weapons, you sell equipment. Oh. Arms Sommelier. Increases his normal attack limit. So 5. Cool. Alphin's up to 5 normal attacks. He's just at 1. Or at 4, I guess. Shion's still only at 3, it looks like. Mystic Crest. The ultimate ingredient. I haven't uncovered the ultimate. I thought that would have been tied to. I guess we may have. I suppose it's possible we have one more quest with good. The Gourmand. 1, 2, 4. He's just at 4, but we also don't have any titles available to unlock with him. Is Kisara at 4 or 5? I knew she's at 4. Yeah, 4 or 5. Okay. Cool. Good to know she's at 5. Caught Silver Marlin. That would actually probably complete both of those. Advanced Solo. I think she's technically high enough level, but I'll probably put this one off for a little bit longer. Theoretically, I could do both of these at once. Subquest cleared. Untamable Rage. We have that subquest. We are under leveled for that subquest. Also, she's at 4, it looks like. And I think Alphen's where we started.
I always love the sound of hammers.
Let's take a look at the... Can we even craft that? No, it's not showing up. Increased aggro, earth damage, force resist. Wind damage, down damage, elemental attack. Oh, there's a couple like bloat damage, smackdown. Makes it easier to down enemies with hearts. Interesting. Process res, fire damage, max HP damage. Increases damage dealt by 50% when at max. Max HP plus 400, earth damage, freeze res. Wow, that's a lot of dark damage.
Hanging away.
Is there anything from here that I want? Not really, it looks like. Okay, so back to Berg Volcano.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
So I wonder what we need for. I think it was the Mystic Pool.
Get lost! Going in! Confiscated!
You're
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Astral arts?
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
I can do this all day.
This one is mine! Flaming meteor!
Now I'm real mad.
Blazing storm.
Hurricane!
Shining supernova. Illuminate the dark. Magic advance.
Prepare to crumble!
We can really make weapons with this?
thought I had. Okay. I do have what I thought set to that. I just apparently didn't have the button pressed. Okay.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Yeah, you're up, ball. Damn. Couldn't have gotten both of them.
If it cools up, time to get out of the way. Flying free! Get me to sit still! Shia, can you take care of them?
No, go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Look sharp! Not by a long shot!
Leave the enemy's arc to me.
Lunar arc! No complaints here! No armor! Stop me!
Remind me to stay in the
Shouldn't have messed with me!
This one, Shion!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Got you!
Cyan instant!
This could be useful.
My face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
Yeah, this
You
does
want
not
some
look like a
sushi?
pleasant.
Oh, wait. You're hungry more than anything, aren't you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Go no further!
Magnum?
All up there! I'll smash you! This one's mine! Now I'm in the groove! Are those rockets in? Let's do it! Do it!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Mass devastation.
Thanks for the cover, Kisara.
You weren't too shabby yourself.
Which way do I want to go? I think I want to continue down here because this is a dead end. Complete with a chest. Oh, cool. Just started running low again.
Hi, Hoodle!
Going in! One armor won't save you! You wanna play? Then come at me!
Their hide is thick as armor.
Do you not have elements down the
I got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Jump the gun a little on that one.
Think we overdid it?
You're open!
Not by bring the home stretch, guys!
What's this one? Charging rock!
Not by my shield!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops!
Dance in the wind!
Got you!
One more!
This one's mine! Back into the fence!
Glad you have your uses.
Shion!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Somehow I suspect having
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
with his high penetration builds up the stacker gauge faster. I know that's not what it actually is, but might as well be what it is. Let's see. No, that's not it. That's it. Isara can learn Lightning Streak. Her power strike landing skill. Does she not have this one already? And I'll probably grab that one next, then finish with this one. Because if she can draw enemies to her more often, that'd be great. Let's see. Well, no, this direction. Grab that. And do Doaline's map action. We're in the second path of the game, and we're finally getting the last of the map actions. There's a chest here. Laura, you're gonna be real busy, buddy.
Pieces!
This should be lightning streak. Oops. I didn't want to do that.
You have to hit the right area on their back. Go for the weak point.
What's this?
Lightning
This
orb.
one's mine!
Dance in the wind.
Lunar
orb. Get on
A charge like that could easily be fatal. Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Do it.
Shion!
Go for it.
Prepare to
Catch him midair.
We overdid it?
Not by a long shot. You see what happened there is too strong. Then I'll split it open. Be my guest.
Going in.
Just right. One more.
You may get out of this alive after.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon Tail! Now you see what I can do! On guard! Do it! Do it! All yours, Kisara!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
Brigading. Light armor line with countless pieces of metal that make it highly flexible and adjustable to each wearer's unique physique.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Except I'm fairly certain it's for Kisara. But it's not as good as what we already got. Okay. More money, I guess. Continue down this way.
Out of my way! On guard! Eat this! This one's mine! Take cover when it calls up! Ready and clear! Let's tear him up! On guard!
We get these two together.
Hurricane strike! This one's mine! Johali! All yours, Kisara! Got you! Now you see what I can do!
Alright, now that we only have one to deal with.
What's this? Talon Hurricane! Now! Elfin!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Oh, right. Shion. Drop down here.
Yeah, if only I were a cat.
No backing down!
That's just asking for Winwell to jump in. Also, might as well do this.
Hold on to your heart.
Do it! Shion!
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
On guard! Not by a long shot! Flaming meteor!
Lunar corruption.
Glacial
Lightning raging cascade. Magic
Shion!
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
Let me help.
No! Eat this! Look solid
Not
hurricane!
in your dreams.
Flaming meteor! Lunar arc! On guard!
Light and
Going
raging.
in! Plenty left!
Sleep now. What would we ever do without you, Sarah?
You've got a whole team to rely on.
Yeah. Do it. We'll save you from winning.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Is she just taking a shot
Step
at
back!
Law?
This one's all law!
Brinwell just took another. I'm sorry, though. Oh, you okay? Okay, Harvey? I just rolled over your tail with my chair. I saw me. I saw.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Thank you, Law.
And thus our strength yet grows.
Oh, hello, car keys.
Let's dispose of the trash.
I'm on it. I can carve through walls. On guard. By the power of water. What's this? Lightning. Rip and tear. Lunar arc. Oh, now you're talking. Lunar corruption. Anything in order. Do it.
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life.
Want to be the one to block next time?
Huh? Not really my thing.
Let's see. I don't want to go down this way, so that leads to the exit. Now I can see that screen a little bit better.
Yeah.
No backing down. This one's mine.
Oh man, wait a minute.
Hey, when did I get here? One more. One more.
This one's mine.
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kitara. Now, Bridwell. Frozen.
Hammer.
Nicely done.
And that's
All thanks to you. See what I can do.
your turn, Law.
I'm gone. He's an expert coming through.
There you are.
Water. Hear my call.
Focus.
Lightning. Strike.
There are springs corrupted.
Holy glimmer.
Eagle
Holy
Fire.
lens. Eastern soul.
Ready and ready. Going in. Eagle Fire.
Now,
This one's mine.
Brinwell.
Just now I'm in the groove. Look sharp.
Flaming meteor.
Do it.
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life. And done.
Let's keep up the pace.
Shouldn't have messed with me.
Thunder field.
Armor won't save you.
There we go.
By the power of water.
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat.
Stat boost item. Yep, items, consumables, red sage, max HP. Right on Kisar.
Callous. Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
That's far enough! On guard! Lunar corruption! Hurricane! Lunar arc! Lightning water!
Now I'm in the groove.
Freezing storm! Lunar arc!
Eagle Prime.
Going in!
Ready up.
Flames will roar. Burning glacial. Here is the wind. Sweep down.
Have you ever considered a defensive approach?
Sit around and wait for them to get me first?
Do it.
Just watch you don't
That
get
would
hurt,
just
okay?
be trouble for lots of moments.
This one's mine. Eagle assault! Blizzard bloom! Take this! Look sharp! Eat this! Do it! Now I'm in the
Go.
hammer!
Seems about right to me.
Pineapple gel, that'll be helpful. Is there? No. There's a little pack on this side.
Hi, Hoodle.
Armor won't save
Drug law.
Going in!
No. Give me this one.
Raging cascade. Water.
Look sharp!
Tear you apart. Glacial spear. Going in.
I'll finish you here and now.
The flashing parts are weak ones.
Water snake, wait! I'll tear you apart! One more!
Hurricane strike. Lightning strike.
Now, in the glue!
Do it! Do it! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your run! And done!
Let's keep up the pace!
I can carve through
And
wood!
reduce the
You've
fences.
got your name on them!
Flaming meteor!
One more!
Lightning strike! This one's mine!
Tempest.
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! We can really make weapons with this?
There goes Law, stealing the thunder again. Gold gel. Alright, now it's which way? What, third left?
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny.
Just barely not ready.
Like moths to the flame. Anything in order is all mine. Eagle fire by the power of water. First strike.
This one's mine!
Lightning meteor. Lunar arc. By the power of water. Smash you. Just getting started. One more. First strike.
Hurricane strike. Water.
Eagle fire.
Blizzard bloom. Glacial spear. Here's the evil.
Water snake.
Wait, Blazer.
I'm on it.
This one's mine!
Flaming meteor.
Another new.
This one's mine!
Maybe I just hadn't had Ringlaw out enough for a long,
Nicely done.
for a while for the next.
Flaming meteor. Lunar portal.
Raging cascade.
Lunar laser bloom.
Now, shield. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
Any chance we could make the next time a little bit warmer?
I want to go down it. I kind of figured being in the middle of a volcano would kind of offset the
I
coldness
didn't know
of the
you had
ice.
that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
That looked like it was Alphen.
Not necessarily. Both of them.
What am I? Oh. 300, oh, just shy of 400. Okay, not too bad. Ow. Yeah, okay, whatever. Looks like we're in for a boss fight. Yes. We still have some time left on that. Oh, bugger.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
Why am I targeting?
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of
What?
course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogles? Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Now. Hey, Log.
Save you!
Raging storm! Freezing storm! There you go! Don't let it go! Here my gift! Holy land! Here's the evil!
Flaming meteor! Blizzard bloom! Raging fire! Blizzard bloom!
I'm out of ammo! I'm gone! I'll be saving this one!
Also, I may have to go back and look, but I suspect this is the physical incarnation of whatever that thing was that interfered with the fight with Paul.
Here, let me help!
Oh, now you're Lunar Arc! Do it!
Do it!
All yours, Kisara.
Too slow!
I need to. Okay, that's 4. Pause.
Save you!
Ready.
Mine!
Energy!
Hurricane strike! Let you all down. No! Don't leave me all alone here.
Oh, I should probably.
In a bind?
Wait, what?
This one's mine!
No, I wanted you to swap it out with Claw.
Look sharp! Hurricane strike!
Not done yet! I'll thank you! Rending you apart!
Holy land!
Glacial steel!
Bloody howling!
Freeze!
Let me. Okay. Claw does have health, so he'll be able to jump in when I need him.
Negative gate!
Here's evil!
Lunar Arc!
Freeze!
Welcome, Mochi Pichu.
Going in!
It looks like evil! Here's evil! Raging cascade!
Beast assault! This one's mine!
Can you take it?
Beast assault!
In there!
Do it!
I'm ready!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
He is outside the
Here come more!
arena.
You'll just have to keep fighting.
That's you, Renwell.
Me!
No place here!
Raging storm!
This one's mine!
I never miss! Light astral energy! A banana!
Appreciate the help!
Grief.
Don't mind if I do!
A freezing storm!
Raging storm! A
This
banana!
one's mine! Nice try! Alright! Now where was I? Catapult!
Thunder field!
Great. Still have no idea what I'm supposed to do about you.
Not a problem.
Not in your dreams. Here goes.
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Here's a
I mean, really, I'm kind of been. I want that. I want. Oh, I want you.
This one's mine. I got it.
I've already been mildly annoyed.
Unity of the movement. Incredible.
hold on to your head. Here I come.
Flaming meteor. Shattering the pieces.
Captivity. A thrilling performance.
Come on, shut up.
The enemy's open.
Don't believe.
All yours, Kisara.
You're over. This one's mine.
Not in your dreams.
One mistake, wait.
Gravitas Phoenix.
Take this.
Mega Ray.
Going on.
Blizzard Blow.
Glacial fire.
Firmament Render. Lunar Cloud. Not on my watch. May 1,000 gales carry you to dread. Gusty Nail. Ready.
Lunar arc.
Lightning Surge. Lightning. Still Holy Glimmer.
Lunar arc. Denied. Going in.
Here, let me help. First aid.
Appreciate the help.
Not on my watch.
Looking fearsome and well.
You must be rubbing off on me.
Let's kick some ass, Dave. I'm ready.
Cheers. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
Benediction light.
First aid. It's about to strike.
Look sharp, everyone!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
I would appreciate it if. Well, I suppose I can just tell them to heal. That.
Supposed to take on something so big! I'll handle it. Just watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down!
Unrelenting Blades.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Alpin, Unrelenting Blades. Max AG increased. Like that. Complete that title. Let's go to recovery, CP restoration full. Spear sweep. I think we'll go with this one for now. Actually, I'm not sure how much that would help with this current build. Secret key. Key to a certain door in Calaglia. Oh, I think I know where this one goes.
I need to be stronger.
Next time when we find Noel in the story, I'll go check out where I believe that key goes.
Hey, is that it over there?
So... force weapons? Nothing... yeah, nothing new. But make sure we have the other stuff.
I always love the sound of hammers banging.
Alvin?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alvin.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave? We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
Wait until the ship is ready for takeoff? Do I at least have a fast travel point here? I do. Do I want to go? Do I feel like this is enough of a lull? Oh, it sounded like they were kind of pushing it. Alright. Where is it? Trench of Flames, I think? Yes. Go check out the key real quick. I think
Looks
there's
like we
anything
made
else
it
I
here
wanna
in
do
one
after
piece.
that I haven't attempted to do already.
What's on the other side of this door, anyway?
Why ask me when you
Thank
can
you
just
for the
open it and
confirmation.
find out?
Into the grotto.
This is...
What is this? Some kind of bath? A treasury? Looks like something Balsif had built. It was Balsif ideally more towards treasury than a bath.
But this is...
What are these? I think they're sausages. Actually, they're wieners.
Kisara.
Did you make something with these things? Sure, I could do that later. Now! Alright.
Oh.
Yeah, someone was living well. I can't believe Balsif was hoarding something so delicious. How despicable. Another reason things have got to change. Anyway, we should open this place up to everyone.
Wow!
I don't know that I've ever seen her so fired up. It's not a bad thing, is it? Even if it is only because of food.
Nice one, Alphen.
Thanks. Gotta keep up with the competition.
Personally, I prefer Bologna. My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prova what now?
Which
It means
dress?
destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
An Omega Elixir. And shield. Of course, it has equipment for both the weapons. Well, that was definitely worth the side trip. Now, if I can remember, yeah. By the way, please ignore the popping sound in the background. That is my dog chewing on.
We've reached our destination.
I'll call it a toy, but it's really a water buffalo horn.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegus? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegus.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegus and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegus?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Shion?
For a second there, I thought she had taken off with the ship.
Where'd Shion go? How could she just go?
Looks like she was considering it, though.
Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Rolron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegus, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way. Alvin!
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover
don't
as
start
we
playing
make our
music
way to Lennox
now.
and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, in a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lennox.
Well, there goes that part of the VOD.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lennigus. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. I need something to eat.
That's not an option at the moment, Alpha.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too, to think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then, I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Members who have left the party, return to your party.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegus.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right. Then let's go.
Well, that shit cleaned up nicely.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Just because there's better things to do than napping doesn't mean you can't answer the question.
Everything okay, Shion?
Unless you
You
legit
seem a
don't know
little
the answer.
different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
I suppose we might as well start with Kisara.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisora.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Suppose we just hit that point in the game where just everything is talk. At least we don't have to talk to both of these at once.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
You were the last person I needed to talk to.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there. And they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelagian.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shion and
More
Dorgrim used to live.
freaking talking!
Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Fine.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly. though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
What happened here? Lennox.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself, okay, Do? So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we could ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
As far as they're concerned, yes. Worse, probably. Or maybe not worse, but lower. Also, Avakir's voice was bothering me. It was like, I'm pretty sure that's Kyle McCarley. Went and double checked. It certainly is. Now, for the look of the thing, put it in double Azure. Give it another skip. I'm seriously debating whether I want to do it.
What could be so important?
So I'm not
It's worth destroying
I think the
people's
skips are
livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. You don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Another freaking one?
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't care about anyone who lived here. Huh? Where am I? I just went out for a walk, but now I don't know where I am. I don't know. Everything's falling apart and looks completely different. Can't get a hold of mother or father. We have nothing to fear against. I'm sure there's a reason for everything that's going on. Even the Zoogles are out running loose. That seems dangerous. Zoogles are nothing more than our servants. They may have gotten out, but I assure you, I'll have them back under control before long. You guys consider yourselves to be proud Renans, then be brave. We'll have this situation fixed before you know. Apparently, even the guards are largely kept out of the way. Mom, in all my years, I've never seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. Fancy parfait recipe.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time. Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
There seems to be one more person I should go talk to before I do that. Also, why can't he just say he's the... I mean, so Dohalim's the de facto victor just by the fact that he's the only one we're sure of is still alive? At least the only one he's the only one who remained on Dana. But, like, Florum, as far as we're aware, is just assumed dead. Well, I guess we could ask someone about it.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zugals have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganeth Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it!
Good grief! What was that? Ah. On top of all the freaking already swamped with dialogue, why do they keep tossing the skits at us?
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Good freaking grief!
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
I think it also helps that everyone recognizes him as a lord, and
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do.
it also helps that everyone around them recognizes Dolim as a lord, and everyone in Rinna appears to be fairly subservient, or everyone in the lower castes seem to be very subservient to the lords in any one of the upper classes.
I mean, they're sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegus now. Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing...
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegus. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Rinans and their lords. Probably a title for, or might be a title for. Why really? Interesting. What are the golden SP? Come back and do that later. I'm pretty sure we're still in for a lot more talking.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed.
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Kynaris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, and gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Yes, that's why she's still around. Truly, Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all Renner better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. Sure, keep telling yourself that. Soon, the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Erwagil Hildrix myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Erwagil is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident, like they say. As for Volron, how Volron runs Ganatheros, don't get me started. I hear he enslaved not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. They live in a society where to the victor go the spoils, but its actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, what sort of family line is this house Ignaceri of his anyway? I'd never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense, not to mention all of the upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganatheros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
sure we at least keep an eye out for things like this.
What could this be?
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Was that Volrun?
who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
So is Rena a dying planet because they've harvested all the astral energy and they're trying to... And that's why they turns to Dana? Good or bad, there's got to be a reason the Danans decided to start subjecting the Renans, or the Renans started subjecting the Danans.
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
So that thing I wanted to say earlier that I couldn't remember, I think it was about the Red Lady being like, they had mentioned that she had shown up in every, whenever we faced the Lords. I'm gonna have to go back and check that. Because I remember seeing her during Volron's fight, or right before Volron's fight. I don't remember seeing her during or before anyone else's. But yeah, the motivations for Rena subjugating Dana are still not quite clear. Well, not just subjugating, but subjugating and harvesting. Right? And like it doesn't have to necessarily be justifiable reasons. Just reasons.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, It was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Why is my... Do my eyes deceive me, or has my shop been blessed with Lord Dohalim and his servants? Is there anything I can help you with, my lord? Don't think I can actually... Oh. There's new weapons available. That is a barrel. Pink protector. Hat shield with a lovely pink coating. The only one that can get through its otherwise impregnable defenses is its lover, the feline Bastion. I don't have the gold for that one. And then I don't have the materials for either of these two. I think it was suggested to keep everything to 10. Oh. Huh. Anything above 20 will knock down some nearest 10. This one we could probably just drop to 20 or to 50. That'd be good. I couldn't help but notice that Rat Pig seems to sell pretty nicely. Versus large livestock litters, livestock growth, large, large.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Medic. Oh. I wanted to see if that gave me enough. Cool. rest. Resting. Shimi, I think was yes. Shimi gives us.
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for
Those
that.
are some
I
helmets.
am Lord Dohalim of Helden Menentia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Look sharp.
Be my guest.
I think he's the only one we need to do something to.
Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone. Support.
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life.
Oh, I suppose I could turn on the fire.
Those
parts
soldiers
again.
seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met
You
back
can
in
see
Ganath
their
Harros.
eyes.
The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Okay. Side route right now is this way. Checking SPX panel because it's informed that this one's ready. And this is the primary path.
That's far enough. Take this. Coming.
Coincidentally, right as I paused my dog, paused at the door asking to be let out. Alright. Turn on. Turn that on. That.
Hydration orb! This one is mine! Illuminate! These ones can run rings around us!
Look sharp. Eat this! Right! One more! Take this! There! Take this! Now I'm in the groove!
Now!
Johanin! All yours, Kisara!
Lightning!
How's that? Look sharp!
Raging storm!
Damn it! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up! Now I'm in the groove! No further!
Lightning orb!
Going in!
Eagle fly! Now! Shield! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Water!
Here I go!
Look sharp! You see what happened there as you crossed me? Shouldn't have.
Burning strike spread!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Nope. That is an interesting way to hold its arm. Okay, so it is 1 o'clock, which means it's my normal ending time. We've hit a nice break. We had a lot of dialogue today. I think that took up the majority of what we did. It's just cutscenes and dialogue. However, we made it to Lenegus. So next time should be back Tuesday. We'll continue exploring and investigating what's going on in Lenegus. And yeah, thank you for coming out. And I'll see you next time.